Hello everybody, good day to you. Welcome back. We are digging into a 2007-2008 Ford E350 conversion box cargo van. I think this is a retired U-Haul van, and it does other civilian duties now. I need to kind of nose this thing up into the shop some. Customer states coolant leak. It's been here since yesterday. Starting's the engine. There we go. We did an oil change and an inspection on it. I didn't record any of that, but I did have a complaint. Again, customer states vehicle overheating. While driving, it did go hot on the gauge a couple times. When I talked to him, I thought it had some low coolant. That's usually the primary reason for an overheat or an intermittent gauge spike. Like, let's say you're driving and you're at a red light and all of a sudden, you know, you start to get that creep up in temperature, but then you start to go again, then that temp comes down. It can very well be a low coolant level. So what we're gonna do here is popping the hood, and we're gonna bust out the cooling system pressure tester. I added a couple gallons of water to the system earlier. Didn't see anything leaking out of it. There's our hood latch. I didn't see an immediate leak, so let's go ahead and pressure test it. It's a closed system, meaning there's no vent at the cap, so this should it should present the leak fairly quickly. Now, although we can't see it because it is a van configuration, this particular Ford is equipped with the 6.8 liter V10 gasoline engine powerhouse. Okay, if we take a look, we can see there's the coolant level on the bottle. This is a cold engine. It's been sitting overnight, so let's get that thing connected to the pressure tester. Let's pressurize the cooling system, and we're going to look down below and see where we cannot, if we cannot locate the leak. Now, pressure system tester, it's up here under all this stuff. Oh, what do we got here? That's heavy. That's a bearing kit. Holy smokes. Yeah, it's a big old bearing press kit. Come here, other one. Whoa. What's this? What is this? Hang on here, I don't recognize this. Oh, yeah. That's the my exhaust back pressure tester. There we go. There's our coolant tester. Perfect. All right, let's crack this case open here. Standard blow molded case. We've got a thermometer. I haven't unpackaged that. We've got our pressure vessel here. That's the pump that will pump up through the line into one of the various adapters that go on a multitude of vehicles. We've got big ones, we've got small ones, we've got threaded ones, we've got ones with O-rings, got the whole spiel right here. So let's roll this thing over to the truck, get it set up, and check for that leak. Rolling, rolling, rolling. I got the roll cart rolling. Woo! There we go. All right, let's get this thing set up. So we've got a threaded cap over yonder. So I believe we're gonna need, that one's threaded. I think this is the one. Let's get that guy screwed on. There we go. Cap clickage, not too tight. We don't want to pull the plastic threads out. It's not designed for boatloads of torque. So then, we connect this guy right here. Like a quick disconnect. It's got a pressure release for when we're done, and just like a bicycle pump, we just got to go ahead and pump this thing up. Where are we at? 7 pounds. Bring it up to like 12, 13 pounds. Now the bright side is it's not dumping its pressure out, so that tells me that we have like a slow leak somewhere. We know it leaked because the coolant was low. Like I said, I put 2 gallons of water in this, so it was super low. All right, where are we at? About 12 pounds. That's good. Let's let this thing hang out for a minute, and we'll crawl down below, look around for some fluid. All right, creeper coming in. Let's get down here and see what we got. Climbing around. I would say rolling in the dirt, but the floor is freshly clean and scarified, so there's no dirt to roll in. Yep, look right here. I've already got some drip action. See that? There's some coolant, and looks like it's coming right out of the bottom of this radiator. See that fitting right there where the trans cooler fitting goes in? There's another cooler inside of this tank down here that goes from that fitting over here to that fitting. and it looks like the plastic tank for the coolant is leaking around where that internal cooler comes out of the radiator. So we're putting a radiator in this. That's what we're looking like. We go ahead and get this thing ordered in the pipeline, and then we can proceed and begin the repair procedure. Oh look, my lucky day. There's a drain on it. Yeah, a little petcock valve right there. Yep, that's perfect. Awesome. Now I can drain this out without pulling a hose. Okie dokes. We're gonna go ahead and get this radiator replaced. I need to peel away all of this intake stuff and whatnot. Our radiator's sitting right over here, so we gotta lose this, get the fan shroud off, get rid of the air box, disconnect the hoses, drain the fluid out of it, and then we can pull that unit out after we pull the lines and cooler hoses off of it, and then get it changed out with the new one. So I'm going to need a drainage bucket. We'll slip that down below the drain. I'll go down there and take the thing loose and get the system drained out. Let's see here, we're gonna need a 19, I think it's 3/4 inch for that little drain valve. But 19 is the same size. One is metric, one is not. Let's go ahead and depressurize the system. Rapid depressurization beginning. Come here. Got it. Let's lose the adapter. We don't need that anymore. Good. Put our cap up there for safekeeping. Don't lose that. Now, since this cap is off, this thing will drain very quickly because air will not have to displace the coolant in the system. So all I need to do is go down here and disconnect that, or unscrew that valve, and we should get some fluid flow here. Begin draining sequence now. Come on. There we go. Let it ride. Goodbye, coolant. Alrighty, so first off, we need to get this air filter assembly unbolted and removed. Let's get all our screws and whatnot out. Should just be these 4 bolts and then the clamp. And then the unit will come free. We're just we're peeling back the onion right here. Check it out. Uh-oh, look at that. We've got a mass airflow sensor connector. It was hiding. Just unconnect that guy. Come here. Oh, come off. There we go. Got it. That's our mass airflow. Set that stuff aside. I think I can get away with leaving. You know what? I'm going to pull this out. It'll probably make my life a little easier in the long run here. Bear with me. I've got just one little clamp back there. There we go. I could have left this in, but couldn't hurt to get it out of the way. We do have a big ginormous radiator coming out of this thing after all. Let's get to work on this upper hose. Let's pull this guy loose. I think there's been enough drainage where this hose should be empty, and it is. Good. I'll just tuck that back there for now. Now on top of this radiator, we've got one bracket that holds the top, another bracket over there. So we've got 2 10mm bolts here, 2 more over there. Let's get these guys backed out. Loud unclickages. There's those 2, and then 2 more off to our left. One of them is hiding behind this piece of plastic, so I need to backtrack and take this thing off too. Yeah, I thought I was being slick and getting this done at like light speed, and now I gotta slow my roll and take out plastic screws. Yeah, for some reason, some engineers invented plastic screws. It's the same as like a push pin type of clip, except it's threaded. I don't know why. I don't like these because look at this one. You try to unscrew it and then the base will rotate, so you gotta kind of hold the base while you take the screw out, when, again, I think a push clip would have just been better. And what do I know? I just fixed the engineer's mistakes. Oh, that's a civil war in the comment section right there. I know there's some engineers here. Sorry, guys. There we go. All right, now this plastic bit of business can come out. We don't need this right now. One more bolt. There we go. So we pull that bracket off. We can pull this bracket off. We'll set these guys aside. So let's move in a little closer here. I think that I can just disconnect this shroud from the radiator. There's an 8mm and another one over there, and maybe just pull the shroud up and then push it back. At that point, I should have clearance between the shroud and the radiator. I can then disconnect the radiator with all of its hoses and whatnot and pull it straight up and out. If that's not going to work, I'm going to have to come back here and take the clutch fan off the water pump. But for the time being, I'm going to attempt to leave that on. It's kind of a shortcut. It's kind of risky because I don't know if I can pull it off, but I'm at least going to try. Okay, let's start with the surge tank hose. We will unscrew this one right here. Get that hose detached. Wiggle that clamp back. Oh, that's kind of crusty too. Okay, put that thing aside. Let's do an 8mm on the shroud. Get that shroud disconnected. Unclickage. There's that one. One more over here. Now again, I won't be able to pull that shroud all the way out because the fan is in the way, but I think I can disconnect it enough to reach behind it. Nope, I abandoned this whole idea. Let's go ahead and get that that fan off of there. I don't like the way this is working out. I'm not going to be able to get good access, I think, to the hoses down below, and yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and pull the fan out. All right, guys, I had to move you back for a better view here. I'm coming in with an impact driver. It's just an air hammer, and I'm going to get on that nut, on that fan clutch, and we're going to break that nut loose. See that? You probably can't see that. It's close quarters combat down there, but we've got it turning. And once it's broken loose, you can just turn it by hand, and it'll walk its way off of the water pump. Yeah, let's see if we can't. I'm trying to see a little bit better down that hole. I can't even see. There we go. Now, when this gets to the end of the threads, you got to be kind of careful with it. You don't want to let it fly off and smack into the radiator. Ooh, I jumped. All right. Now, if we look left a little bit here, I can pull this fan assembly up and out. Come here, fan. Come on, what are we doing? Oh, it's stuck. The blade is stuck on the radiator. There. Come on out. Good. All right, now that I've gotten out of my own way with my shortcuts, let's extract this shroud. That's gonna free up loads of space to maneuver. Let's get this thing out. Goodbye, shroud. Here we go. And now we can get to everything we need to get to. Nice, easy, gravy work. I like it. All right, so you guys are down here in front of the alternator. You're looking down where the fan would normally be, and we can see that there are two transmission lines. There's one right here. The other one's right over here, and then we've got the lower hose. So the clamps on these are pointed down, and since we're working from the top, I'm just gonna give these like a little bit of a twist at the clamp. And we'll rotate this clamp up where I can see it and manipulate it, if I can. You gonna come out of there? It's gonna make me crawl down below. What is this? All right, but you guys stay here. I'm just gonna go down below, get these clamps unclamped. I thought I was gonna be able to spin those around, but I thought wrong. There we go. Ah, dirt flew in my face. Come here, clamp. I do have hose clamp pliers, but they have become broken, and I need to order another set. So I'm not using hose clamp pliers, I'm using regular pliers. Anyway, I got one of them disconnected, or loosened. Here comes number 2 right here. Oh, yeah, I can see you. There's that one. And then there's the big one right here that goes on the lower hose. I'm kind of getting out of the way in case this one comes off. I don't want it to spray coolant on my face. That would not be okay. Wiggle this guy back. Yeah, it's leaking. I'm gonna need a second drain pan. Because that hose, when this hose comes off, it's gonna bring, or when the clamp comes off, it's gonna bring the hose with it, I think. Yeah, maybe not, okay. Man, all I am is wrong. Every time I guesstimate something, it proves to be inaccurate. Here, let's get these this trans line removed. We'll give it a wiggle. A little smaller. Just kind of walk it off, maybe. Come on, line. Maybe I can pry it off. I don't want to damage it. Here, let's try this. A little trim tool pry bar action. Get some leverage against it. And then with that in place, we'll give it some twists. I don't want to cut this line because then I gotta get a whole nother line. I don't want to do that. So I don't want to cut it, and I don't want to damage it. Gotta be gentle. It's a sensitive bird. It's moving. A little bit at a time, but it's moving. There we go. Aww. We're gonna dump some transmission fluid here in a second. There we go. Got that one off. We can repeat over on the other line. I hope this one comes off with some, a little easier. No, I see corrosion and buildup under there also. It's the same boat. Okay. Come on back, come here. Let's give this some twist action here. Break open that that surface adhesion. See all the crust falling out of it? Oh no, I looked up and my GoPro was turned off. It got too hot. Anyway, I got that that other transmission cooler line removed. You see her dangling down right there. The only thing left to pull off before this radiator comes out is going to be that lower hose. So I'll try to get right back behind it again with our pry driver, and we'll just push the thing right on off. Let it ride! Holy smoke! A lot of coolant. Okay, we got it. The thing is disconnected. Let's push this hose down so we can get the maximum amount of coolant drainage. All right. I think my commentary was cut off again because the GoPro shut off again. It's really hot in this third stall section of the shop. There's not the airflow that the other side has, and I think my camera keeps overheating. Anyway, that is inconsequential to you guys, except for the fact you get to miss out on whatever I was talking about. But back at the task at hand, I've got this thing disconnected from all the hoses. Oh, let's just get her pulled up and out. She's free, I think. Yep. Let's get this bad boy removed and extracted. Radiator coming out. There we go. Let's just close that up for good measure. Set this unit aside. All right, quick side-by-side comparison. Old unit and new unit. Let's make sure everything starts to line up. We've got the surge tank little connector slash nipple. We've got the brackets for the shroud, upper hose. We've got the trans cooler lines right here. Those match up with the ones on the old unit. Good, and we have the provision for the lower hose and our drain valve. I think that's the drain valve. It is now. Or no, that's a drain valve. That's like a purge valve, maybe like an air purge, or it could be another fitting for another hose. Either way, that exists. That is one difference. This thing is here. This one just has a plug. That is of no matter. This appears to be the correct dimensions, size, shapes, and all that good stuff. So let's get this unit installed. And this bad boy is going in the same way the last one came out. Just drop it right down in. Get stuck on some hoses, yep, just the same way. Good, very good. It slipped into its little brackets at the bottom. I like it. Speaking of brackets, let's just go ahead and toss these on real fast just to keep this thing in position. And we can go back down in there and get those hoses reconnected. Wunderbar. Here, let's get, that's a trans line. We'll plug that one in. Oh, and I can't reach that other one. It's too far away. I need a hand extension. There you go. Get that up there. I'll get the clamps from down below. And I'll probably have to get that lower hose from down below. Let's try it. I think I can. I think I almost didn't. Come on. There. Wiggle it. Got it. Okay. Hoses are on. Let's go down below and get them connected. All right, rolling back down. We're on the creeper again. We just need to get under here and get these clamps reclamped. Come here, pliers. There we go. This one's right in front of us. We'll get that one first. Get on there. Good. These are some tough clamps too. It requires quite a bit of flangey strength to get them all set up. Come here, stubborn clamp. Now let's orient that the way I found it. Right like so. Okay, that one's good. Let's get this second one in here. Get that one set up. There we go, that one's good. And now for the big kahuna, the lower hose clamp for the radiator. Oh, gotta open up my pliers some here. Whew, it's hot down here. The camera's gonna die again. I can feel it. Wiggle that guy in all the way. Come on, get on there. There we go. Okay, all the bottom hoses are now connected. Back up top. Let's get the shroud and the fan on, and then we'll get the upper hoses and we're good to go here. Okay, shroud's coming in. It's got little clips at the bottom of it that are going to engage the lower support. Let's get these hoses out of the way. There we go, shroud's going down. So we need to just slip the shroud into those little grooves on the clips, and that'll secure the bottom of it. Then we slide the fan in, and then we can bolt the top of the shroud to the radiator. All right, viscous clutch fan coming in. Again, I'm taking care to not contact the fins on the radiator. I don't want to poke a hole in it with a fan blade. It happens. So we'll get this thing started. We'll spin it on. There we go. Wait till that thing bottoms out, and it'll just take one little tap with the impact driver, and that'll secure enough torque to keep it from falling off. That's good. So the fan's in place, the shroud's in place. Let's go ahead and get the bolts in for the shroud, and we'll start getting everything tightened up. Very good. There's one of the 8mm bolts. Begin threading. Come on. There we go. Package number 2. Got it. All right, I'm just gonna reach back in here with the chisel and give a couple little taps on this clutch fan. Tight. Very good. Okay, upper radiator hose. That guy is going on next. We've got the surge tank hose. That one's going on after that. We can start to get the bolts in for our upper brackets. Come here. Come lined up. There we go. 2 more. And that one there. Get on there. There. 10 mil action. Down. And then in. Nice and secure. Awesome. Okay, let's get this clamp tight before I forget. It's horrible when you forget these kinds of clamps, because usually, hey, what are you doing? Wake back up. This battery is not okay. These, like I was saying, these types of clamps, they're kind of easy to forget. And once you put your antifreeze in, what can happen is it'll actually seal with just the hose being there. But then once the vehicle drives and leaves and pressure builds up, it can actually push that hose off, and then it'll come back to you on a tow truck. And that would be bad. We don't want to do that. You never want your cars coming back on a tow truck. They can show up on a tow truck, and that's fine. But when they return on a tow truck, yeah, that's your fault. You did that. So anyway, we're not bringing this one back on a tow truck. That would be horrible and expensive. Horribly expensive. I don't want to do that either. Anyways, we got one more clamp. I need to switch out my socket. I'm over here babbling on, rambling. There it is. That's the 7. Let's get that last clamp way back in the back on. Then we can get the airbox back on. Mass airflow tight, and then we're good to go here. There we go. Clamp clickage. Come on now. More tighter. Battery's not working out for me. No matter. I've achieved tightness. That's good. Here, before we get in too deep, let me put this little shroud cover thing back on. It's gonna flap. There we go. Because the 2 bolts for the airbox are gonna have to come over top of this cover. Air filter box coming in, and it goes in this orientation. Let's plug in the mass airflow sensor or it will run horrible. It's also the intake air temperature sensor, so there's technically 2 functions in one component. And that's good to have that. Saves on the parts count. Makes things not cost as much. Okay, airbox is in. We've got 4 more fasteners to go. That one, and then 2 up top here at the firewall. Get in there. Got it. There we go. Let's get these guys tight. Let's finish off the first 2. Clickage times 2. And then we've got the little snorkel that goes at the end of the airbox. Let's see here. There she is. It's going to go up in the groove, down, and in that little slot right there. There we go. A couple push pins, which are actually screws. And then all we've got to do is add some coolant, check the trans fluid level, let her run, come up to temp, make sure the thermostat opens up, and Das Auto will be complete. I know this one's not actually Das Auto. That's reserved for the Volkswagens, right? Das Auto is good, yeah. Tight, 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 and not tight. 1 more clamp to go. Clamp clickages. All right, got it. Let's refill the jug with some coolant. Yes, this says Prestone antifreeze coolant, but this is BG coolant. It's my drum of the good stuff. Ah! Didn't mean to do that. I miscalculated my calculations. Made a mess. First gallon coming in, and I have just noticed an error. I have not yet installed the hose clamp. Oops, spilling. The hose clamp for this surge bottle. I must not forget that. Fill it on up. I think this system's gonna take like 3 to 4 gallons. We'll see. I'll be back when it's full. Alright guys, we've got just over 3 gallons in this beast. Let's go ahead and reach around here, grab a hold of that key, and restarting the engine. Aha! It is alive! Awesome. Alright, let's let this thing heat up. Let the water pump do some circulating of the coolant. Let the thermostat open up, and then we'll recheck our final coolant level in a moment. Alright guys, we're full up on our surge tank, just slightly above the minimum level, or I'm sorry, the maximum level. Go ahead and get that cap back on. We've got the clamp on, clamp. That clamp, this is tight, these are on. That one's on, lower hoses are on there. I checked trans fluid when you guys weren't looking. That stuff's good to go. We are up to operating temperature, and I think we're in good shape here. Problem has been solved. There is no more leaky radiator, because radiator's gone. So that being said, this truck's about to get gone. This video is about to get gone, and I will go ahead and close this out right about now. I will do such things as always by thanking each and every one of you guys for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed this radiator replacement video. If you did enjoy this video, please feel free to let me know about that by tapping that like button down below. Drop me a comment or two while you're down there, and most importantly, have yourselves a great day. See you guys later. End of video, end of FERD, end of radiator, end of transmission. Finalized, powering down. Pew!